Todd Chrisley was arrested after an altercation in Chick-fil-A. Lindsay Chrisley discussed her father Todd Chrisley's infamous Chick-fil-A argument on her Coffee Convos podcast. But what exactly did she say and what happened? Todd Chrisley and his wife Julie were sentenced to a total of 19 years in jail earlier this year for bank evasion and tax fraud. Todd's kids, Lindsay and Savannah Chrisley, also have their own podcasts and are open about their parents' incarceration as well as providing amusing stories about the two who shared their life on film in Chrisley Knows Best. We examine what Lindsay said about Todd's iconic Chick-fil-A incident, as well as what actually occurred. Todd's daughter Lindsay revealed on her Coffee Convos podcast with co-host Kylan Lowry that her father had a confrontation with someone in the restaurant who he nicknamed Egg on Legs. Remember when I told you about my father getting into an argument with some lady at Chick-fil-A and calling her an egg on legs? Lindsay inquired of Kylan. Kylan laughed hysterically. No, I don't think you ever told me that. The conversation came up as Kyle was speaking about her experiences of inquiring about getting lipo and a boob job, as the two said BBLs don't look good when people's legs aren't in proportion. Todd opened up about the altercation on his Chrisley Confessions podcast. It isn't the first time the confrontation has been mentioned, as although Kyle hadn't heard the story, Todd spoke about the altercation on his Chrisley Confessions podcast back in August with his wife Julie Chrisley. The Chrisley Knows Best star said there was a reason for describing her as egg on legs, as he said Julie was giving him a look like you don't have to describe her looks. Speaking on the incident which happened when their sentencing was announced, Todd told the podcast the women came up to him in the restaurant to ask him how he is with an edge. When Todd replied fine, the woman said, well, I would think the answer for someone who just got a conviction as you did would not be fine. I just wanted you to know that my family and I celebrated the conviction. Todd then went on to claim the woman was saying derogatory things about his daughter Lindsay, where he explains he will drag anyone who comes after his kids. He went on to explain when the woman said he had been convicted of a felony, Todd responded back, if you haven't been convicted for looking the way you do, there's hope in the justice system. He did say the devil came over him to say things like that, but was riled up and said some things he shouldn't have said when she was bad-mouthing him and his daughter in Chick-fil-A, which he calls God's house. If you're going to come up to someone you don't even know and find joy and gratification in their heartbreak, what does that say about you as a person? Todd concluded. Savannah discusses how her parents are doing in prison. Savannah also discussed how her parents, Todd and Julie Chrisley, were doing in prison on her Unlocked podcast. The actress said that the two have been unable to communicate with each other since entering prison 4 months ago, and how difficult it has been for them after being married for nearly 30 years. Savannah also admitted that she has a difficult time getting into serious relationships because her life has been put on hold.